Let a few of you guys get in here. What's up, Dickie? You're the first one in here. What's up, Gary? How's everybody doing tonight? Glad to hear it. Doing all right. Bought any new tools or got any new tools? I haven't. I'm in the process of trying to get the new Milwaukee soldering iron. Nobody here locally has it. Our Home Depot was supposed to get it, but I went over there and there was a young man there. He didn't know a whole lot about it the other day, but he said it was supposed to be in sometime this week. I went back when he said it would be there, and shoot, I knew about it more so than the guys that worked there. Yeah, I think it's going to be a 14 or a 12 volt. I'm not real sure. 12 or 18. Hopefully I can use my batteries with it. They also make a heat gun, which would make my job easier, especially with the batteries. Because, you know, a lot of times it's a pain having to have the cord in when you're doing a project in a car or whatever. But yeah, it's supposed to be released right just before Christmas, so there's somebody on one of the YouTube channels that's doing a review on it. So I did say Milwaukee, right? Or did I say Makita? I've been getting them two mixed up here lately. Of course, my head's in the clouds anyway, so. Yeah, I try to research on some of their tools and things. I'd like to be the first one to do a total review on it, but I guess there are already people doing them. I think they should let us guys that are in the YouTube community have some of these tools and things and let us put them through the test, because we can put them through a lot more ruggedness than Gary. It's there. I think I've made my mind up today. I'm looking for something else, and I'm not, you know, another day like I did today, and I probably won't be there because I had to really bite my tongue today. I can't deal with smart ass, you know. You know, I don't mind joking, kidding, and that, but you know, when I ask a legitimate question, I don't I don't appreciate a smart ass remark from a smart ass. Uh, I'll just I'll just leave it at that. You know, I'm there to do a job, and you know, I felt I asked a legitimate question, and I kind of got a horse laugh and things, and you know, yeah, I've been there 2 months, but there's still a lot I have to learn. I don't need somebody to tell me wrong or to give me, you know, it was a legitimate question. I'll just put it that way. And I don't appreciate somebody making me look like a dumbass. And he's real lucky I didn't. Like I said, I just I don't need to go there. But on a lighter note, you know, I shouldn't let it get to me or whatever. But I just I don't understand. Um, the thought process anymore. Maybe I've been out of the the loop too long, or maybe I've worked for myself. But and you know, you guys know how I am. I'm pretty opinionated, and sometimes that gets me in trouble. But you know, I just I told somebody that I'm tired of being, you know, other people's floor mat. I'm not doing it anymore. And people can see the mean streak in me. Roy, they probably could, and this is probably hypocritical because I know I can use it, but you know, I don't know. I kind of wonder if they wouldn't turn their back on that. Well, and that's, you know, Gary, that was the whole thing. And you know, they want respect, but you know, and they're first to jump down your throat if you don't give it to them. But boy, if you bow up to them or say something to them, you know, you're either picking on them or you're a son of a bitch. And I guess I'm a son of a bitch because, you know, I'm not gonna put up with it. I'm not gonna, you know, that's me, you know. Um, yeah, Roy, and that's where I had to bite my tongue today. You'd have been very proud of, you know, I let it go like water off a duck's back. It was one of them things that, you know, you don't know how bad I wanted to say something or to, you know, but I had that little birdie or angel or whatever in the back of my head just told me to let it go. There was about 45 minutes left in the day, and he knew, I think he knew he pushed my button because he come over after the fact and tried to butter me up. And that just goes over me like a dose of salt for somebody to come along and after they know they've pissed you off to try to sugarcoat it. I don't, you know, and like I told you, it'd be in your best interest to walk away because I'm not in the mood. But, you know, that's the bad thing is, well, and that's, you know, I know I don't know all the ropes and things, and, you know, this is a new venture or whatever, but it's the fact that, you know, I'm sure because they've been there a while, they take things for granted. You know, they've had that job for 15, I think one's been there like 7 or 8 years, I don't know. You know, I'm the new guy, but I'm the oldest one there, and some of the things I see them do, and that it just amazes me that they haven't had any more safety accidents, things like that. They're not safety conscious. I seen one today standing on a forklift with it raised all the way to the ceiling, you know, and he has kids. You know, standing on the forks. You know, to me, that's taboo, you know. Yeah, you're younger, you take chances and things, but, you know, to me, even if they would have had a pallet, would have been better than just standing on the forks. That's all I'm going to say there. Yeah, Gary, but, you know, and I had to stop and think, and maybe he did after the fact, but, you know, I think it's been building for a little while, because I know they're in their own little clique, and they'll go back in the corner and look down my way, and I'm sure it's the old guy, you know, he don't, he's set in his ways, he's, you know, grumpy old bastard, whatever you want to call it, but, and granted, you know, I have my way of doing things. I see things different than, you know, I'm sure the younger generation. I have my own way of learning things. You know, somebody may show me, but I may do it a certain way that I think, and if it gets the same results, I don't see the problem. And that's where I think that they kind of maybe think that I'm not getting it or whatever, but I have my own way of doing things. I learn a lot different than, you know, but if you get the same results, who's to say that your way's not right? You know, who's to say their way's not right? You know, as long as it gets the same results, I don't see a problem in it. And, you know, I've been told, you know, well, you're taking a long way around that. Well, you know, that's what I know. That's, you know, I've done some of this stuff a lot longer than, you know, they were pooping in their diapers. And, you know, by no means am I right, and in no means am I saying they're wrong. You know, there's one in particular, he's a very sharp young man. But, you know, there's things that I just disagree with different methods. You know, if I was to train somebody, it would be a lot, I would be a little bit more methodical. You know, I wouldn't take for granted somebody knew something. It took me almost a month, and I wondered why they didn't have any thing on, you know, their specs and different things. Well, nobody ever had said anything to me for a month. You know, that should have been the first thing that they had said is, hey, if you forget something, you know, there's a book over there that, you know, tells you all the doors, all the locks, all the, how to cut them, what's the measurements. And I just happened to see one of the guys go over there and grab the book. That should have been told to me the second week, in my opinion. There's just a lot of different things that I feel it's almost like I was set up to fail. You know what I'm saying? And that I don't like to be made out. I'm not the sharpest tack in the deal, but gosh dang it, give me a chance. And I know I can, work circles around. I'm pretty, I'm still, I've still got a lot of life in me yet. And it's very aggravating to be, have somebody, basically I felt I've been talked down to, treated like a doormat. And like I told my wife the other day, I said, don't be surprised come tomorrow or the next, next day I work that, I was close to it today coming home. It's either that or, put somebody in a compactor or something, and I don't like to say that, and that's where I'm a little better that way, because if I was younger and that, I'd have called him out on it. Today God was, I think, there, and he gave me some restraint there. And sometimes it's hard, and that's what I say. It just, and I don't be, I understand, some of the younger generation, and I maybe I shouldn't be that way, but well, and I've got a friend that works there, and he's the one that helped me get the job, and that's what he said. Well, you just gotta grin and sometimes just go on, and I'm past that point. It's to the point to where it's affected my sleep. It's affected my I hadn't been eating breakfast when I go in. I wasn't eating a very good lunch, or if I would, I'd just eat, snack here and that, and I can't do that. I've never had a job that you despise some of the people you're around, and I don't work with that many, but and it just feels like. I don't know, from day one, I got a bad feeling about the main guy, and he he tends to be a smartass, and you can get the right answers, but I've been in a situation in a boss position, and in my opinion, there's no dumb questions or no dumb answers. You may see it different than I do, and I give you the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, Roy, that's and it's funny you say that, because there's one other guy there that and maybe that's the whole thing there. We've known different friends. We've learned that we know a lot of different people, and he's a Christian also, and I think he's struggled there, and that's what I told my wife. I think that he's just one of them, because he holds back. He don't he don't get in, he's, I think he's around my age. He's one of them I let come out here to the house, and I worked on his truck and helped him out fix it because he don't have a whole lot of money. Um, and the right out of the get-go, one of them kind of had said something that, well, you need to watch it. He just just wants a free ride, or he'll take advantage, and that's my choice. I don't think he's that way. He's had his struggles in life, and maybe that's, I've kind of helped him. He's his father-in-law is a pastor also, and he's, I think he's trying, but I think he's had a few challenges, just like I have, and I think that he tries to do the Christian thing, but it's hard for him. And I think when I come along, we kind of helped each other out. And that's kind of what I wonder. Today it just felt like, because he wasn't there, it was like almost like I was fighting Satan, if you know what I mean. So I knew the situation, and that's why I ignored what I was dealing with. Because like I said, most of the time I'd have set the young man straight and told him how the cow ate the cabbage, but I don't know. It's just been one of them weeks that, like I told my wife, it just, I've kind of made up my mind what I'm going to do, and it, probably not going to change it. Things will get better, and that's what I told her. I said, this is the last part of 17, and 18 is going to be better, and I'm just going to keep thinking positive that way. And it's just the last part of 17 is about like the first part of 17, so. I don't know if somebody caught that last one or whatever, but I appreciate you blocking that one. I don't know if... Well, yeah, Roy, that's... I kind of wondered, and that's what I was asking him when I come home today. What do you have in store for me? It was almost a godsend, but now it's almost, and I told you guys that the other day, it was almost like I knew it was a stepping stone. It's just... you don't know what path you're on. Sometimes, we want to control our own destiny, but God has something else for us. And that's, and that's what I told my wife. I'd been really eating a lot of these snack deals with cheese and stuff in it, but like I told her, I'm not eating right, and I gotta watch a lot of my cheeses and things, because I'm partial, I get kidney stones and things real easy, and my health here lately is, I told her, a couple times there, my back, I usually know, you know, and I drink a lot of water, and that's kind of why I had a couple beers tonight, because I just want to keep my system fleshed out. Because if you've ever had kidney stones, you'll it's like no other pain. And you know, for some reason I produce them, and my whole problem is I love them Mountain Dew whiteouts. And my doctor told me that Mountain Dew was the worst thing on you know, with kidney stones. So I kind of cut back on the Mountain Dew. But like I said, I told him, I said, you know, the whiteouts I'm going to have every now and then, because I just crave them. They're good. But it's just one of them things that, you know, when you don't eat right, and you don't, you know, with the diabetes part, you gotta kind of watch it. But I'm not totally cutting out everything in life. You know, you gotta enjoy. It's just moderation, like anything else. And shoot, I haven't had a beer in probably 6 months. Yeah, I understand, Roy, and don't think I hadn't thought of that. It'd be just nice to know it a little bit better. And like I said, every now and then I cheat a little. And this right here was even better yet, but like I said, once in a blue moon, I got to break down and unwind. And today was one of them days. I just yeah, it's like I said, and I know that ain't the way to handle stress, but sometimes you just gotta unwind and let it go, you know. And there's nothing wrong having a beer or two or three. I don't really normally like getting on, you know, on here and doing that, but I enjoy talking with you guys and seeing everybody, and especially you, Roy. You kind of you'd probably preach better. I know guys that paint cars and things, we think that And they say a lot of painters and things are either dope smokers or alcoholics, but I've never done either one to that aspect. I just seen it ruin too many people's lives in that aspect, you know, health wise. But that would be something to see a preacher that have a few beers before you get up and give the sermon. You could really pound and do the fire and brimstone thing. That's why you don't see me drink a lot in front of a lot of people, because I know how I am sober. And somebody tells me when I'm drinking, I'll definitely tell you how I feel. And I don't like that I can't, you know. Some people, when you get to drinking too much, you don't have that self-control, and I think that would be me, and I don't want to be in that state of mind. I want to be able to control, especially if somebody pisses me off. I just don't understand people this day and age. I'm trying to grasp it all. I'll have to write that down, Roy. Does any of this cost, Roy, or is it free, or? Free is good. I like free. See, Roy, and that's what gets me. And I don't know, maybe it's fate or whatever. But I used to, when I was younger, I could, and I've kind of always been that way. Different verses of Bible I could recite back to you, and that. But like when I had math and different things, you give me a math problem or whatever, I'd struggle with it. Nowadays, I guess because I own my own business, my wife, she's like, how do you, she has to figure it out sometimes with a calculator, and not always can I figure it out. It comes to me, numbers. But yet, like today when they had flustered me, when I get frustrated, I don't know what it was. I was trying to read a tape measure, and it just looked like numbers. I didn't even see the half inch. I didn't see, it would just look like a bunch of numbers. No matter what way I looked or anything, it was just like I forgot it. I didn't see half inch. It was just, it was gone. But yet I can tell you a Bible verse or recite, think of different things. I don't know, and that's what I was teasing one of them. I said, I think my memory is full. I need to have a virus, either a virus check or get, download some kind of to put it in the trash. I need a trash bin or something. It just, I don't know. But, and, some of the stuff I can remember, and I've always been that way. If I want to remember it, and, anything with a car or, has to do with a motor or something, I can tell you. Now, if you asked me the price of tea in China, I couldn't tell you. Or, a lot of ours is numbers for door frames, your right frames, your left frames, what different things. And it took me, a little while to do that. But I don't know. It just, I get distracted sometimes, and that's what I was saying, when the boss was standing over me and that, I drew a blank. It just, and I know he was looking at me like, well, heck, he can't even read tape. It wasn't that. It was just, I don't know. I got flustered. I just drew a blank. There was nothing there. Once he went away and that, I had to redo one of the deals I'd messed up on. But, I got it worked out and everything. And as long as, like I said, as long as I'm by myself and can do it, and I've not been that way. Used to, somebody standing, it didn't bother me. But I don't know, with this job, and I know I've had a lot on my mind, been worrying about Mom because, once again, my sister didn't come through, and she's starting to see why I get so aggravated. Me and my wife took on a lot of responsibility here, and all she had to do is take her to a doctor's appointment, and she was too busy to, she got her there, but she didn't wait around, so she missed where she took her to the wrong doctor's office, but she didn't wait around, so Mom had to wait on her. And, Mom come home, and she was, when she met me at the door, kind of explaining to me, and I'm like, that's why I can't accept, she won't take a little bit of responsibility, but she's the first one to go around telling everybody how she's helping mom out and that, and it burns my butt. And that I'm supposed to invite her over for Christmas. Sorry, I can't do it. You know, I'm not. You know, I'm just not gonna do it. And that's why I told my mom. I said, "You've already forgive her, haven't you?" Well, yeah. You know, she's just set in her ways, and she made me angry. And I said, "How can you forgive somebody that craps on you all the time like that?" You know, it's just things like that, I think, has been building. And then with the job, and then, you know, I know this is our first Christmas without Dad. And, you know, the ornament, you know, I know they were doing the right thing. But, you know, it's just one of them things that, gosh dang it, it hurt. You know, it was one of them things that brought back, you know, it's just, it aggravates me for her. I told her, I said, make another appointment, you know, the first of the year. And I said, I've got a buddy that's retired, and I already talked to him. I said, I hate to do it. I said, I know he won't take any money, or he's just that good of a friend. And I told her, I said, piss on her. You know, I shouldn't be that way. Yeah, I'm buffering. I shouldn't be that way, but I told her, I said, if you need to get to the doctor's office, don't worry about it. I'll ask, you know, a good friend, and he'll take care of it. But, you know, to not be able to take a, yeah, I'm back to, not to be able to take your own mom to the doctor's office, and yet I'm the problem child and the one that's taking the blunt of all the crap. You know, sometimes it's aggravating, because I feel I've stepped up, and I don't, you know, I'm not asking for anybody to give me any medals or anything, but, you know, you'd think you could take a day, especially when you're not working, you don't have a job, you know, you can't take 30 minutes or an hour out of your day to help your own mom. And that's why I kind of think, you know, I've said earlier, I felt like I was a dang doormat. You know, it just, when she had asked me if she could invite her for Christmas, I was like, no, I don't want her here. You know, am I bad for saying that? You know, it's just one of them deals that I'm not going to have it. You know, and I told her straight out, you know, the other day, I know I upset her, I made her cry, and, you know, I never, you know, I've done that a couple times, but